Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I'm Ryan Bolin. Thank you all for joining me. So, R&B legend Smokey Robinson, in a recent interview, stated that he does not want to be called African American. He wants to be called American American, American American. Now, we're going to read this article and we're going to find out exactly why he said this. But let me say up front, uh, he had said this before. He had given a similar interview before, and he actually had done it was a poem. It was like a rhyming poem that he did in a stage musical. I think it was a musical special some years ago, and it was awesome. It was outstanding. But yeah, here's a Black American who doesn't see himself like a lot of blacks in America see themselves, or have been, what I would say, conditioned to see themselves. So I'm going to get into the detail of that, but let's get right into this. But suffice to say, here's a man who's proud to be an American. He's not ashamed of it. He says, and it says, music legend Smokey Robinson told CNN's Chris Wallace in a recent interview that he doesn't want to be called an African American because his people fought and, quote, died and have done everything for this country. Now, here's his reasonings behind this. He says, I don't want to be called African American. I want to be called American American, Robinson told Wallace. He says, I think that when they call black people who were born and raised for generations in the country, well, let me read it. I think that when they call black people who were born and raised for generations in this country, if you accept the handle of African American, that says you don't accept being an American American. The, quote, you've really got a hold on me singer said. I like that. You don't accept being born in Chicago or New York or Detroit or wherever you were born. For generations, your family has been here. You know, they built this country too. Sweat and tears and all of that, and fought in every war, okay? So this is my country here, Robinson said. And I like how he's saying, look, man, our ancestors, people that we've known and that have fought and died for this country, look, they've fought and died for this country. And this is how I'm interpreting this. He's saying we have family members that have fought in wars and so forth and died for this country, direct ancestors, that have died in this country and have done so that we could have and enjoy the freedoms that we have and enjoy today. So to call myself an African American would suggest, this is how I'm interpreting, would suggest that, hey, I'm from Africa and I really don't embrace America. You could say that. You could say that. Some people may interpret that different, but this is what Smokey Robinson is saying. He said, I'm an American American. I am an American. Now, there's something to be said about that because I forget exactly what celebrity made this statement, but he stated that he went, and he was a celebrity, big time black celebrity. He went to a country, I can't remember the country, and he said that the people called him an American. They didn't call him a black American. They didn't call him an African American. They didn't call him an Afro-American, any of that. They called him American. And the reason for that was because he basically portrayed the attitude of most Americans. America is not skin color. America is not a religion. It's an ideology. It's an idea. It's a worldview. Okay, so when anyone from any country comes to America and embraces those ideologies and embraces those worldviews, they too become an American. You can be from a different religion, you can be from a different race, you can be from a different cultural background. And if you adopt the American concepts of freedom and freedom of speech and freedom of religion and freedom to be whatever you want to be, then you have embraced being an American. That makes you an American. If you embrace the concepts of perseverance and pushing and being excellent in everything that you do, that's embracing an American attitude, because Americans went many, many years ago and this is how they were. They were all about perseverance. They were all about discovery. They were all about striving for excellence. The educational systems in the 16th, 17th, and 18th and part of the 19th century in America was some of the best in the world, and people from all over would come to these schools. And they still do even today, okay? Even though I don't know why some of these schools, but because they don't teach, at least some of them don't. But anyway, so he goes on to say, yeah, you got to be proud. You got to be proud, man. He says, so I don't want to be called African American. I'm an American American, the music legend affirmed. My people died and have done everything for this country. Robinson's full interview with Wallace is set to air on Friday night. Okay. This is not the first time Robinson has aired these sentiments. Last year, the singer said he believes using the term African American disclaims all the contributions that black people have made to the United States. He says, I think that when you use the term African American, you're disclaiming all the contributions that black people have made to America, he said. I consider myself to be a black American and I enjoy being called black. And black has been so negativized as a, I don't even know if that's a word, as a color down throughout history by those who wanted to give it a negative spin. And so it spilled over into the black community, into the black people. And even black people back in the day calling each other black was a sign for a fight. Like black was so negative, Robinson added. And that's the end of that article there, you know. When he made the statement that black was considered to be negative back then, maybe that was his experience, but I don't remember that back then. I remember anything that was associated, when I was going to school, anything that was associated with Africa was considered negative. People didn't want to be associated with Africa because I think a lot of the imagery that they seen of African was people hunga bunga and walking around, you know, hunga bunga and half naked and lived in huts. And I remember going to school, some of the blacks would crack or rank, what they call ranking and cracking, making fun of some of the dark-skinned people there. They would make fun of them. And then we had people that were from Africa, and they would come here and they would make fun of them. And they would use terms like, I think it was what they call, I want to give it away. Okay, I don't want to give it away because that may sound mocking, but they would use, when I was going to high school back in the days, they would use, certain black teenagers would use certain terminology that was belittling to Africa per se. Now, I don't know where that persona came from. It may have been what was presented to them, but it was, I don't remember anyone calling another black person an African American. It was you black, and that was it. And you considered yourself black. And from my experience and my observations, that wasn't seen as negative. It was seen as negative if you was associated with Africa. So if you called yourself an African American, that was seen as negative. But anyway, that's just my opinion. But to sum this all up, I see here, and I've heard this other interview as well, I've seen here a man that's proud to be an American. And that, to me, is very, very good, because I've run into so many black people who I would say are proud to be an American, but are scared to say they're proud to be an American, particularly with the spirit of the time that we're living in now, where there's so much division by the Democratic politicians, by the liberal establishment, by liberal and Marxist professors pushing racism and so forth, and the white man this and the white man that, and he's evil and he's Satan and personifying all this other stupid buffoonery. It has poisoned their minds. So even though internally they're proud to be American, they don't want to say it. I've seen black people where I work at, have nice jobs, nice, dress real nice, have nice jobs, look real professional, but talk like thugs on the street, particularly when they're talking to their peers and their friends. Yeah, what's up, nigga? Yeah, man, I went down there and did that. And I'm saying to myself, bro, you don't even have to act like that, man. Why are you acting like that? Why are you talking like that? You don't have to show you down with the brothers. Just be you, And now somebody might argue, well, they are being them. No, you're not. You just trying, the way I perceive it, you're just trying to show them that you still black. But that's not all there is to being black. Black is not always, yeah, what's up, nigga? You know what I'm saying? What's up, bro? What's up? You know what I'm saying? Walking around holding your crouch and your pants hanging down. That is not black culture. I don't know what people come up with that nonsense, but that is not black culture. That is not real black culture. That is a subculture, okay? But it's not real black culture. Okay, so no, he didn't have to, but I see this all the time. Well, what's up, and they don't have to do that. But because they've been so conditioned to believe that being proud of being an American and getting an education and being learned, we've been brainwashed to believe that that's a bad thing. So a lot of black people try to act like they, down with everybody else. Even though they have all these accolades, they try to act like they down with everybody else, And I get it. I understand to some extent why you would want to do that. I get it to some extent because no one wants to be cast out of their own group. I get it. Where I work at, I talk to people and I talk to black pedestrians and white pedestrians and all kinds of different pedestrians that come to the job and talk to me and so forth. Yeah, I call them pedestrians because I'm a security officer. But and I try to treat everybody fair and try to treat everybody the same. But there are certain people that come downtown, and they're from the inner city. They're from low income inner city, and they're from basically the ghetto, for lack of a better word. And the way they talk, the way they walk, the way they act, I try to be welcoming to them as much as anybody else. I try to be welcoming to them to the point where I don't compromise who I am. I don't try to be, what's up, man? What's up, baby? But I do speak in a way that lets them know, hey, I know where you're coming from. I came from the ghetto, bro. I was born and raised in the ghetto, born and raised in the inner city, where gunshots was always. I was hear that almost every other night. So I know what time it is. I know what's going on. I've been in it. I have experienced it. So I'm not some wet person, wet behind the ears, don't know what's going on, and just trying to give somebody some information on YouTube just to be talking. No. I'm experienced. I've seen it and experienced it. So I try to be in a position where they can talk to me, but at the same time be me. Because at the end of the day, it's all about being you. And Smokey Robinson basically saying, I'm just being me. I love being an American. I love being black, but I also love being American. And what I read in that as well is that he's not some black man that wants to be white, but at the same time, he's not some black man that hates, he just hates being black. I just hate being black. I don't want to be identified as black. I don't want to be identified with anything black. Yeah, no. He's proud to be an American and he's proud to be black. And it's the same thing with myself. I'm proud to be an American. I'm glad and thankful to God that I was born and raised in America and not somewhere else where they don't have the freedoms that I have here in America. Now, America is not a faultless country, and no country is. Why is that? Because the country is made up of human beings, and we are all flawed, period. Okay? But let's be realistic. The Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the Declaration of Independence is one of the most unique constitutions, and if not the most unique constitutions in all of history, because of the freedoms granted to the people here. Freedoms that some of these politicians are trying a little bit at a time to take away from you and I. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I'm proud to have been born here in America as a black man. But I do like certain movies that I made from, certain movies I like that have that black flavor. I like it. I love Soul Train. Love Soul Train. Every now and then I'll go on YouTube, type up Soul Train and watch old Soul Train episodes. Yes, I do. Yeah, I do that. I love that. I love it. But at the end of the day, being black is not what defines me. You see, being American is not what defines me. What first defines me is God. I'm a child of the Most High God, seated in heavenly places in Christ Jesus, more than a conqueror through whom that loved me. The head and not the tail, above only and not beneath, filled with the Spirit, filled with the Holy Spirit. All those things are what I identify as first and foremost. Then second to that, I'm an American. And then third to that, I'm black. Okay, not because I'm belittling being black, but at the end of the day, that's not what defines me. That's the least of my worries, the least of my concerns, being black. I don't feel the need to push that, but I do feel the need to give people an understanding of the Word of God. I do feel the need to be as genuine and sincere as I possibly can be, and just be who I am. That's it at the end of the day. And whether a person accepts me or rejects me, that's on them. That's their choice. I'm going to be who I am. And I'm too old to try to be anybody else. I'm 53. I'm about to be 54 June 13th. Yeah, I don't have time to be trying to be everybody else and be like everybody. I'm going to be me. And I think that that's what people should be. They should just be themselves and be real, and whether you black, white, whatever, it doesn't matter. Be yourself and be proud to be in the greatest country in the world at this point, okay? At this point. So that's what I wanted to say about that. What do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all and see you again.